Vanessa, where have you been, baby? You neglect us? Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. It feels really weird to be recording right now because obviously I haven't recorded in so long and I'm like really cheesy right now, so forgive me. But I definitely wanted to make sure I got a video out because this topic has been on my mind for so long, and it is in regards to navigating single life in the last couple of years. I feel that when I was single, and I say when I was because I am now in a relationship, but I did find it extremely difficult to navigate single life because it wasn't as I remembered it. I just got a sense very early on that the dating world was completely different, and I couldn't obviously be the only one that thinks that. I find now in dating that even if it's 6 months to a year that go by, the dating world, the games that are played in the dating world, and how to just navigate being single changed so much, and that I was looking for advice more so from people that knew exactly what I was going through at that specific moment. Of course, I did find that some of the advice that is given is general regardless of how much time has passed with someone being single or not, but there are things that are very specific to the times of 2021, 2022, 2023 of being single that other people just cannot relate to. So I felt like I should just make a video since I've newly gotten out of that, just to help anyone that is still dating to, I don't know, I just want to help you navigate. I want to share what helped me when I was single and what could have destroyed me, and I don't want y'all to go through the same things. And if you're thinking of actually becoming single again, maybe here's like a little warning of what is to come and things to look out for or prepare for. So without further ado, let's get into today's video. So I decided to title this Things They Don't Tell You When You're Single 2023 edition, because people being single in any time other than 2021 to 2023, I feel like y'all just can't relate to what we've been through, okay? The dating world has changed. The tactics, the manipulation, the people, the quality, the apps, the people, the quality, the quality, the quality. So the first thing is timing is subjective, right? Honor yourself and not others. But I felt that when I was single, timing was an issue as far as if I felt that I was ready to date or if I didn't feel that I was ready to date. I always felt like I was getting feedback on like, it's too soon, or why do you need more time? Just jump in now. And this to me is a very important for you to understand that timing is subjective. Just because someone takes a year to heal does not mean that you need to take a year to heal as well. But also it doesn't mean that if you have a friend that you see that is seemingly bouncing back and ready to get into another relationship when she just got out of one, of course that can be alarming to you, but most people that do that I find check out very early on in the relationship that they're in. So it's not that they need this whole time to process and figure out what happened. They've probably been processing that for a year, 6 months, 2 years, 6 years. We have no idea. This is why I say timing is subjective and to honor yourself. You alone know how much time you need to recover from the relationship that you were in and how much time you need to allow yourself to open back up. A lot of times you will find that people give you advice based off of what they will do, and they're looking internally on how they would operate in a situation that you're in. But the thing is, we are two different people. And so again, honor yourself. You alone will know if you're ready and if you're not. Also going into that though, make sure you're not blocking in a sense. So you could say like, I'm ready, and I don't want you to block the feelings that you're currently feeling because you want to fill a void, right? So I feel that sometimes people could say, I'm ready, I'm just gonna go out there so that I can drown out the way that I'm feeling. But if you're having someone else come in to solely reduce the feelings that you're feeling for someone else, I mean, it's a temporary hold. It's basically putting like tape on something that's wrong with your car. Like, it's not gonna hold. I don't know if that was a good example, but you know what I mean? Like, it's temporary tape. And when the problem does open back up and that wound does open back up, it's even worse than the time before. So make sure to properly heal and be in tune with yourself, like truly be in tune. So this kind of goes into what I was saying, but you need to make sure, and this is probably one of the most important things that I will say, but one of the things that I wish I can tell myself is that a lot of people giving you advice will either be projecting their own insecurities onto you or actually coming from a place that's pure, and they're looking at your situation for what it is and removing themselves. So one of the things that was really detrimental to me is taking advice from people that I felt were either in situations that they didn't want to be in or would have navigated a situation differently than I did. Instead of giving me an unbiased opinion, they were giving me an opinion solely based on how they would act or what they were going through in their lives. And that is so detrimental to your progress as a person because it's not helping you. You're basically listening to someone ramble, rant, or put you down based off of what they're going through at the moment. And you need to understand, especially if you're newly single or you've been through a bad breakup, that is a really fragile moment for you to be in. And the advice that you take in, the energy that you take in is extremely impressionable moment, meaning that anything someone can say can either stay with you and benefit you or stay with you and do more harm than good. So please be able to discern and figure out who's around you and what type of advice they are giving you. I actually was showing this list to Bay. He also reminded me of a point, which was take advice from people that have something that you want, a life that mimics something that you want, a relationship, a type of partner that they have. And that's something that I forgot to do. Sometimes you could be taking advice from people and then realize you don't even have the life that I want. You're not with someone that I would want to be with. You're not navigating your relationship in a way that I would want to navigate mine. Again, discernment. Make sure that also, if you're trying to get in a relationship, it's probably better to take advice from people that are in relationships. You also know that not everyone that's in a relationship is going to give you advice beneficial for the relationship that you're looking to be in, because the relationship that they are in is probably not reflective of the relationship that you want. So again, look at who you're taking advice from. If it's something that they have that you admire, then that's probably a better person to take advice from than someone that isn't something that you don't actually approve of or you don't want your life to mimic, if that makes sense. So it's hard for me to even say this next point because it's so sad that it even needs to be said, but you are allowed to want love. I feel right now in our generation, somehow wanting love is seemed as a weakness, and you are allowed to open your heart up for love again. Again, our generation somehow has put into people's minds that wanting love or being open to love is seemed as weird. You should just want to focus on yourself and just be by yourself, and somehow expressing anything other than that is seemed as a weakness. And I'm not sure when it became a weakness to love and want to share your life with someone else. I don't think we were put on this earth to hear noises in your apartment when you're filming. I don't think we were put on this earth to be alone, okay? Literally, us being here is a reflection of two people coming together. So understand that it's not a superpower if you're this person that's like, oh my God, I don't want love. Like, that's not a superpower. A superpower is being hurt and still opening yourself up to the potential of someone loving you and you showing love to someone else again. You wanting love, you being open to dating again is okay. We have one life to live. We're young. I think you should get out there and have experiences, love people, and allow yourself to be loved. Listen to that word though. Allow yourself to be loved. Allow yourself to receive love. It's a really beautiful thing when you actually allow yourself to receive what God has for you. Personally, that's my belief. Take it how it resonates. Okay, so another thing I have to mention is while you are navigating the single world, you should be dating. I think dating is a good thing. Again, I think this is something that people discourage single people from doing, dating, but you should be dating when you're single and not when you're in a relationship. But y'all not ready for that conversation. You should be dating, get it out of your system. So when you're in a relationship, you're sure about who you're with. Dating and getting to know different people, different personalities, different love languages helps you to be sure and reassured when you're in a relationship that you've made the right decision. You wouldn't know that unless you get out there and date. Although I will say, I hate when people are dishonest when dating. You shouldn't be dating and having fun at the expense of someone else's feelings. So if you are someone that is not looking for anything serious, you should definitely make that known. Be a grown adult, communicate that with the other person so that they're not misled. If you're someone that is looking for something serious, then communicate that so someone's not misled. Again, do what you want to do, but not at the expense of someone else's feelings. Okay, another thing that used to irritate me is that I would constantly hear this thing about self-love. I think what people are used to doing is once someone becomes single, a lot of people will shower you with the only advice that they know, which is take care of yourself and have self-love. And it's as if that you're lacking self-love now that you're single. And we need to understand not every relationship that we leave breaks us. So there might not always be a need to rebuild or pick up the broken pieces. Some of us were more broken in a relationship than we were getting out of it, or some of us are more broken single and made whole when we're in relationships. So not every outcome of a relationship is the same. And this is something that I plead to not someone that's single, but someone that has someone in their life that is single and you are finding yourself in a position of giving advice. Please make sure that the advice that you're giving someone that is single is not an automated love yourself more response, because what you're indicating to that person is that they are so broken that they actually might not be worthy of accepting love or being loved until they fix whatever it seems to be broken within them. Just because you're single does not mean you're not worthy of love. Just because you came out of a relationship does not mean you're broken. It does not mean you need to fix yourself. Every relationship's ending will cause you to reevaluate where you're at in your life and what changes that you need to be made. But again, not every relationship, not every person is the same. All of this is subjective. So when you're talking to someone, you should really understand what happened in that relationship, knowing this person, my friend, my family member, where are they at mentally? And should this be the default button of a response that I'm giving them? There's other ways that you can phrase to someone like, hey, you know what? I wouldn't stress about dating. I'm sure you're going to find someone because you're an amazing person and it's going to come to you. If you feel like you want to go out there and date, then you do that, because I know when someone finds you, they're going to love you the way that you deserve to be loved. In the meantime, we can hang out. You could do whatever you feel that you need to do to make yourself happy. But all in all, I support you. That sounds so much better than, well, honestly, I just feel like you should love yourself. Who said that I didn't? This is why I say discernment is so important, because I find most of the time the people that have the most self-love and self-respect for themselves are people that had the courage to leave a relationship and tackle single life, even knowing that it's a mess in 2022 and 2023, but still saying, hey, I'll choose to deal with the BS here rather than stay in something that I know is no longer serving me. Okay, so I'm gonna end off on this point, and it's a very serious point to me, and I want y'all to hear me when I say this loud and clear. I'm talking directly to you right now, someone that's probably single, that is trying to navigate this new life that you find yourself in, this new reality, because I understand how it feels to be single after either being in a relationship that was long or short, and you kind of looking around like, how is this my reality? When you were so concretely placed in another reality. And what I'm going to say to you is the biggest thing that you need to take away from this video is to forgive yourself. I think forgiving myself was not something that I thought I would struggle with. It's not even something that I thought I would need to battle with when being single. But when you're single, you do have time to take to reflect. Even though I told you that timing is subjective, I do feel, even if it's a week, even if it's a month, even if it's a year, I do feel there needs to be a time period when you're spending some time reflecting on your own, without advice, without input, just you. And especially without the person that you were in that relationship with. A lot of times when you're in communication with the person that you are in a relationship with, they can cloud your judgment, they could cloud what is true, and they can cloud your healing. For some reason, I felt like I needed to forgive myself for leaving. Sometimes if you're the person that has initiated the breakup, the separation, the divorce, you feel and carry the most guilt. And although that you know what you were doing is right, if you have a heart, you're still going to carry guilt. You're going to carry the guilt of being the one that feels responsible for everything ending. Understanding that you ending a relationship doesn't mean that you're the one responsible for the relationship ending. Those are two very different things. And that is something that you need to forgive yourself for. And also something that you need to pride yourself on having enough courage to leave something that probably a lot of people in your position wouldn't have the strength to leave. I can see people needing to forgive themselves for being vulnerable, for feeling that you gave more vulnerability than you ever wanted to give, and feeling that that wasn't respected. Forgive yourself, because a healthy relationship requires vulnerability, and vulnerability is not what killed your relationship. It's the person that took advantage of that. Sometimes you might need to forgive yourself for being the one at fault. Reflection will allow you to assess if you were the one at fault or not, but understanding that the way that you acted in a relationship, the things that you've done in a relationship, do not have to define you for the next. So it's funny because I never would have thought that extending forgiveness for yourself is more difficult than extending forgiveness for the opposite party. That's something that shocked me completely. But also, if you are going to go down the path of trying to forgive the other party, if there's any forgiveness that needs to be extended, please understand that you can forgive someone in your heart. You don't need to be communicating with them. You don't need to be fighting with them. You don't need to make them understand that they're forgiven or that you want forgiveness or anything like that. There's a lot of things that you can come to peace with alone during that time of reflection. And I know I always say this prayer that even though I'm not telling the person, I pray that God makes them feel my forgiveness, and I pray that one day that they'll be able to forgive me in their heart for anything that they feel that I've ever done to them. Also, I think another thing that you need to forgive yourself for is landing up where you're at now. Again, there's times where you'll wake up and you'll look around you and you can be like, I used to share a house with this person. I used to talk to this person every day. They used to be involved in my life every day. And there sometimes just needs to be, not even forgiveness, but there needs to be acceptance on your part of, and this is where I'm at. It takes a minute for you to wake up one day and realize that the reality that you're in is not a dream, that it is your reality. And I honestly pray that anyone that's watching this that is currently single gets to that point where they accept the reality that they're in. I do know people personally that I feel don't forgive themselves for the reality that they have now created, because they're waking up and everything's different because of a decision they've made or whatever, what have you. And just thinking of some of those people now, it's like, I wish that they would forgive themselves for what happened and then learn to accept the reality that they're in now. Especially if you can't change what's happened, you have to do the best that you can with the reality that you're in. This is now your new reality, and everything in life has a consequence, whether good or bad. And being aware of that, okay, you know what, I've done this and it's landed me here, that's a good thing, or I've done this and this has landed me here, that's a bad thing. And with that, how do you move forward to either allow that to happen again or to not allow that to happen again? You definitely need to learn to forgive yourself, if anything. We're human, we make mistakes, and it's about what do we do from this point on that matters more than what has happened. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.